Welcome to a brand new edition of Face to Face, coming to you direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo, bringing you Face to Face this evening. I am Jayamal Ratnayaka for the Newsfirst team. Today we have decided to deviate from our traditional political discussion to discuss something that is of crucial and vital importance to all of us, but is often overlooked due to us being engaged in day-to-day activities and the so-called rat race that we are all engaged in. To talk about this, and the topic of discussion, first of all, tonight is about managing stress, particularly amongst students, amongst us in general as well. To talk about this topic, I have in the studios with me tonight Professor Mohamed Mahees, Professor in Sociology and former President of the Arts Council of the University of Colombo, who is also a senior student councillor. So my guest tonight is very well versed in this topic. A very good evening to you, Professor. Welcome onto the show. I believe it's your first appearance on Face to Face.
Very good evening. Thank you, Jayama.
Awesome. So starting off, Professor, as someone who is deeply rooted in the academic sphere, you have studied this subject and you can provide us crucial insights on this. Can you tell me how you perceive the current trajectory of educational reforms in Sri Lanka, and is Sri Lanka adequately preparing its students to meet the needs of the global world? I want to start off with educational reforms, Professor, because there has been a lot of discourse over the past few days and weeks, especially after Prime Minister Harini Amrasuriya laid down a plan to bring forth new additions, new reforms to Sri Lanka's education system, and much has been said about that matter. I want to get your expert analysis about it and what you perceive it to be.
Thank you very much, Jayamal. I think we need to have educational reforms because the country needs to go for a massive progress and some kind of new changes because we are at a crisis. But at the same time, I know that whenever a new government comes to power, they are proposing some new educational reforms. Sometimes they end up with failures and sometimes there are some successes. But we know that this is also has become a kind of a political jargon, and also they are proposing some reforms. But we also have to think about, just because we have economic crisis and global attachment, we can't do all the changes just only by changing the educational systems, because we should not focus only employability, because the education needs to not only to find a job requirement or employability that should cater the life need of the people. Now, for example, in education we have not only the skills, but also we have to promote the good attitude and as well as good behavioral changes. So I personally believe that education must promote overall change of the personality of the man, because we also need to study about how to find a new job opportunities and how to work with the global community. But at the same time, we know that we also should think about how a man should live or have a happy life. And also important thing is I am always concerned about the overall balanced personality of the person. So even if we have a higher level of professional and technocratic and other sort of achievements, if we are unable to achieve the balanced personality or successful happy life, then there will be a main crisis. For example, I could just tell you, if you look back the Sri Lankan history, more than 250 or around 300,000 people have committed suicide in this country. Mainly the youth, sometimes educated people, even among the university students, they are attempted to commit suicide. Why? So therefore, we have to be concerned about not only about the material aspect or material achievement of the education, we also have to think about the spiritual and also the personality, and at least how a person going to have a life. Because before we study about the all around the world, all around the material thing, we also should know about our life. What is life and how can we have a balanced life? That is important. So therefore, I am not that happy about those things are being incorporated into the reforms. Now, I remember when I was doing my O-level in 1989, the same curriculum was incorporated like all continuous assessment, Akanda again. by that time the Vijayama Lokubandara. So they promoted and they introduced 6 subjects, but again it was changed. So now there is a huge argument with regard to whether we need to have a history or other religion or other subject. I think the important thing is our society, our community. Sri Lankans are not that ready to go for a real changes. So therefore I must say that we should not, always design or prepare the education so that it can meet the needs of the economic crisis. We also have to promote the economic growth, economic development. So then we can also protect the, some kind of like a liberal arts education and philosophy, other history, all those are important.
I see.
Now you see even the developed capitalist countries, they are protecting and promoting the, not only the, the professional based education, even other educations are important.
Yeah, you gave me a great segue into the next question, Professor, because my next question was, what sort of role do you believe the humanities and social sciences angle of education or academia plays in shaping future educational reforms? How big of a deal is it? Because we talk about economics, we talk about finance, we talk about engineering and so on, but these liberal arts are really what defines a man and really what keeps someone grounded. How important of a role does social sciences and humanities play in shaping future educational reforms, Professor?
I think we know that the modern development or modernity, or even we call like a post-modernity, they are always producing and creating some material needs. Even some of our needs are converted as a desires. Sometimes we have to be more concerned about the needs such as our shelter, hunger and other basic requirements are very important to achieve. But more than that, the some of the industries and other global level capitalism, they promote us with some new needs and new desires. And those desires are, very difficult to achieve. So in the meantime, they have forgotten the humanity and ethics and morals. Now you see, for example, even if we train want to become a medical consultant or engineer or IT specialist, but if he or she is not happy about his or her life, and if they are not that concerned about the country and education. Now, for example, we have to promote a kind of a collective interest through education. But unfortunately, in our country, although we promote free education, the people who enjoy the free education, they are only concerned about themselves. They are only concerned about their families, immediate families, and their material or future benefits. But unfortunately, they are not that concerned about the whole nation or whole country. So that is why we see people, those who are educated through pre-education, they are saying goodbye to country and they are leaving the country. So important thing is, all the educated people are not sometimes intellectuals, and they are not having that strong humanity and the moral background. So therefore, we need to promote education with the good humanitarian values and moral ethics. So then only they will be responsible for the entire nation. If I make a little more explanation on that, if you take the academia, research institutes, people like professors, doctors, they all become consultant and professors or specialists thanks to the general public. Even they are being educated with the cost of their, tax money.
Taxpayers' money.
Yeah. And more than that, whatever we find today or discover as a new knowledge, research, data, and concepts, theory, all we generate them from the everyday life of the people, their experience. Now, for example, if a professor want to do a research, he or she has to go to the community and feel and talk to the farmers or fishermen, get their information, analyze them, then they convert them as a data or concept. So therefore, we in a way, we store their experience in books and libraries and journals. But unfortunately,
we don't put it into action.
So they suffer, we enjoy individually.
Understood. So in your opening remarks, you spoke about how Sri Lanka is still not ready for radical changes in academic curriculum. And also you said later on that a man should be rooted in morals and values and tradition. When it comes to Sri Lanka, we have a very rich cultural and traditional background. So where do you see us striking that perfect balance between curriculum modernization, and also preserving Sri Lanka's cultural and linguistic heritage. Doctor, where do you meet in the middle?
I think we need to have a huge rationalization process. Because sometimes, although we are materially modern, we are, attitudinally, we are not that modern, because we need to bring some rationalization, or we have to be concerned about the instrumental rationality. Into our day-to-day life, we have to promote it. Now, for example, just because we use smartphone and modern devices, still our attitudes are free modern. You see, people are running after some of the superstition, myths, and other unwanted things. First, we have to promote this kind of, positive attitudes among the people, especially among the general public. Now, you see, for example, if you come to Kumaratunga Munidasa, who were very much concerned about the modernization. If you go through his most stories, children's storybooks like Hatpana, Hinsare, and Magul Kama, those look like kid storybooks, but they bring huge stories.
They deliver a message.
For community to get ready. How should one have a discipline, and how should one get rid of the myths and mystification, superstition. So therefore, it's not only through the education, we have to bring this process throughout the society. But unfortunately, even if you take educated people, sometimes even professors, doctors, some IT consultants, so they are also, running after superstition sometimes. Now, sometimes we know that some people, when they want to even go for a cardiological surgery, they are reading the auspicious time.
We even saw this on full display during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah. So therefore, the entire country need to have a broader rationalization process, where we need to look at the people in a more realistic way. So therefore, education.
But where does that start, Professor? Where does that start? Does that start at home? Do parents need to educate themselves first and then pass this on to the next generation? How do we shift that mindset? Because there has to be a turning point somewhere.
Yeah.
Where does that start?
I think education is one of the best place. School education is
curriculum.
Curriculum. But not just because of the curriculum. I think we need to have them in a proper way all throughout the society. We do have many things in our curriculum, but we rarely find them in action. Now, for example,
being practiced.
Yeah. Although we teach science and physics and chemistry, but still people are very much away from the real world science and physics. Now, you see, for example, how many youths die per day due to road accidents. Now, every year we lose around 1,000 people by drowning. Right? And also by road accidents. And also we have many other crises in our day-to-day life. So therefore, why youth love the risk? Why they love the death more than the life? So therefore, we need to give this rational education, not only in a formal way. Now, take for example, we do have around 1 million three-wheel drivers in this country. So they also need to have a kind of a rationalization. So then only they will look at anything in a more constructive and more rational way. So then we should not limit these things to school, and even media, religious leaders, and other aspects of the society, even the cultural things. Everything has to be rationally reorganized.
I see.
Education is one of the key role. But there are many other areas now. For example, I remember once upon a time there was some good discussions over the media. Like I'm very sorry to remind the name. Actually, Yatha Rupa, one national television channel. It reveals most of the,
shows the ground realities.
But it was immediately banned.
I see.
Because of the influence of some of the, people who are in charge of this.
So the top brass.
Yeah, top brass. So therefore, we have to have a total purification of the community and society, starting from the education.
I see. So talking about students' well-being particularly, because you are in the university system, you are a senior student counselor as well. In recent years, Professor, students' well-being, mental well-being has been called in too much concern. There have been pressing concerns over addressing students' well-being, especially if you take a university, the ragging at university, the burden of passing exams, the stress that is imposed on students when they go into qualifying academically, getting good grades, managing your social life, managing your life with your parents and your your families and so on. What sort of changes do you think that universities should be making, apex bodies in Sri Lanka for academics should be making to support the mental well-being of students and ensuring that they are given the best possible opportunities to excel in their academics?
I think there are a few main causes, of course, when it comes to the stress that causes, reason that causes stress among students. The one is like academic pressure. You see, like if you take university students, advanced level is one of the most competitive exam in the world.
The pressure to succeed.
Yeah. Although one get 3 A's, sometimes they can't.
You might not make the cutoff.
So then you see what is the maximum score that one can get. Even if you take scholarship exam, one student need to get minimum of 75 or 80 to be qualified for the scholarship. So this create unnecessary crisis among the students, and also they lose their childhood. And you see that a child need to have a constant interaction with nature and people. You see, then only they can have a good life.
A holistic development as a child, from academics to learning about society to being one with nature and so on. That's where you learn your social skills, right?
Now, for example, if you still critically look at or evaluate the situation in the country, most of the academically sound as well as intellectuals have come from the rural background, because they have had a good chance to interact with the nature and people. So we need to give our children to have more interaction with nature and the people, because if you take the science, and we have two type of science. One we call natural science, chemistry, biology, physics, and other things. So they are freely available in nature. The nature provide the foundation for those science.
It's all about experimenting.
Yeah. Other science like management, law, sociology, psychology, these all originate from people.
Theoretical, yes.
Yeah. So then a child should have plenty of chance to interact with the nature and people. Then it will help a child to have a more academic background. So as you ask, I know that. But unfortunately, today our children are totally taken out of from the nature and the people.
Mainly due to academic and social pressures.
Yeah.
But the root cause of that is the curriculum. From grade 1 onwards, a child is prepared to face scholarship. After the scholarship, you are prepared to face O-levels, then A-levels, then you go on to university. Thereafter, even in today's corporate world, even a BSc or an undergraduate degree isn't enough. So then you go to an MBA or a PhD and so on. So where do you structure the curriculum to a place where a child will be ensured that he or she receives proper education and given the freedom to choose whichever stream he or she is willing to study, but also that the stress is managed? What sort of observations have you made, Professor, where you can have a more structured and a less pressure approach on the child in their academic development?
I think a child need to have a good opportunity to learn the new and modern and things like the philosophical thing, technical things, and other engineering and all other things. But the important thing is we have to understand what is the cost that child bears to achieve that academic knowledge. Now, for example, if a child or undergraduate, sacrifice many things on behalf of his or her education. Now, for example, we know people who were in the past, they enjoy the life while they are having their academic achievements, and they had the sports, arts. You see how many artists we have from many universities. Now, just for example, take Handagama. He's coming from a mathematics background, but he's a great artist coming from Kelaniya University. If you take Jackson Anthony, he's from Colombo University. He's another great artist, and Manoratna from Peradeniya University.
Jayalat Manoratna.
Yeah. So then you can see the education itself has provided them more than space and time for them to become artists. Even if you take other people like Ran Banda or Ratnasri or many other people. So, but unfortunately today we don't have, because they don't taste the life of themselves as well as the life of the others. So, because if you want to know about yourself, you have to go before others, because art and literature means it's nothing. It's life of the people. So you have to...
It's about expressing yourself.
Yeah. So they have to... It is a reflection of the life of the people. So unfortunately, these people don't have chance to interact with others. Now, if you take an engineer, he only sometimes deal with the engineering matters. And doctor, you see, totally sacrifice everything, become a doctor. So then how...
Tend into his task.
Yeah. So then we have seen doctors are not behaving like a human sometimes. There are professors, not only I'm accusing them.
You're not singling them out, but as an example. Yes.
So therefore, we need to have people with a balanced personality. If they don't have a balanced personality, what the use of they being academic or they being intellectual people? So therefore, I am proposing in our education system, now for example, we compartmentalize.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if somebody select, biology stream, he totally loses the other streams.
Yes.
And even when it comes to university, you know, medical students, arts, management, I am telling you, I am from Peradeniya University. In my university, Colombo, today, very poor interactions, no interfaculty interaction. No, even in the university,
everyone is in their own silos.
Yeah. And it is starting from school, you know, exclusive education, you know, unfortunate incident. The one of the prime objective of the education is to have integration.
Yes.
More social
to
integration.
Create a sense of community.
Yeah. But it happens other way around in Sri Lanka. You see, in Sri Lanka, we say Buddhist school, Christian school.
Yeah, it's individualized.
School. Yeah. And ethnicization. So then, and we have a class-based
So that
school.
divide starts from school itself, which shouldn't be happening.
We have, plantation schools, we say.
Yeah.
Rural school,
Hindu
remote
schools.
school. Yeah. So same thing happening in university level today. I'm telling you.
So those barriers need to be lifted.
Sure.
So that children themselves from a very young age understand that, okay, we are all humans.
Yeah.
We are not divided by race, ethnicity or religion. We are all working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
And therefore, we need to achieve this together.
Sure. So therefore, I think we need to give more priority for this kind of
conversation.
No, but unfortunately, our education system naturally remove the children from the natural interactions and natural relationships. And sometimes, unfortunately, we bring some projects, World Bank to other projects, to give them or promote them social harmony. That is like we remove the fish from the water and give him a training and put the fish back to the water. So therefore, we have to
It's very counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I see. Understood. So, we are in conversation with Professor Mohamed Mahees, Professor in Sociology, former President of the Arts Council of University of Colombo, and also a Senior Student Councillor. We will be right back. Stay tuned. This is Face to Face.
Newsfirst, Face to Face with Jamal Ratnayaka.
Chamatkar Ratriya, an enchanting night awaits. A tribute to timeless legends, a celebration of melodies that echo through generations. A heartfelt homage to two icons who defined the soundscape of a nation. Victor Ratnayaka and Priya Suryasena. Their songs shaped our stories. Their voices touched our souls.
Join us for a night of unforgettable performances by Nalin Pereira, Samita Mudunkotua, Sanka Dine, Raini Charuka, Nadimal Pereira, Lakshita Suryasena. Irushi Suryasena.
Chamatkara Ratriya, where legends live again. Musical direction by the brilliant Mahees Nenipitiya. Every note will carry the soul of a legend. Mark your calendars for the 2nd of August from 6:30 p.m. onwards at the Muses College Auditorium. Tickets via theticketsministry.com. Don't miss the most heart-touching musical event of the year. Chamatkara Ratriya.
ඇත්ත කෙටියෙන් දත්ත වැඩියෙන් සයිබර් අවකාශය කළඹන වුවත් සලකුණ Newsfirst YouTube චැනලය අදම සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න. Newsfirst ජනතාව සමග.
Strengthening the people, fighting for the truth, leading a nation, forging the future. Newsfirst with the people.
පැතිකඩ
සතියේ දිනවල උදැසන 6ට
රේඩියෝවට වීඩියෝ ගුවන් විදුලි ප්‍රවෘත්ති කලාව නව මානයකට ප්‍රමුඛ පුවත් සිරස
Newsfirst, face to face with Jamal Ratnayaka.
Welcome back to Face to Face. We are in conversation with Professor Mohamed Mahees, Professor in Sociology and former President of the University of Colombo's Arts Council. We have been talking about educational reform, stress in students, academic pressures, how we can manage that stress, and now we will be talking deeper about managing stress overall. Professor, as an educator, what sort of advice do you often share with your students on managing stress, day-to-day stress, the day-to-day struggle that we go through from simply surviving to ensuring that your grades are good, ensuring that you're giving adequate time to your family and friends, adequate time for yourself, the holistic development we all speak of? What sort of advice do you give your kids?
I think especially we have to be very much concerned. I'm always telling about that the overall balance in the life is very important. Because as a human, the more you have overall commitment to your life will make you as a good professional or academic or anything else. So therefore, we have to, usually people are preparing their life. Once the preparation is over, life would be over. So important thing is, while we are preparing our life, we have to enjoy the life. Now people, immediately finish their O-level, A-level, then first degree, second degree, then PhD. So they are, as you mentioned at the beginning, in a rat race. They are running after each other. So then while they are achieving their academic targets, they forget about the life. I think the life is important because if we don't give more priority for life, I think we all are in trouble. Today, people have unnecessary doubt about their future and they are calculating the stress. And there is one important academic called Zygmunt Bauman. He's a British sociologist. He clearly expressed that the modernity is always bringing us kind of an individualization. In the modern life, we are educated, we are having so many qualifications, but we are living alone. So we are unhappy about ourselves. He used the word called liquid life, liquid love, liquid times. So it's really correct. So people are disappointed. Now, the same thing is expressed by one of the local scholar and artist called Ranbanda Seneviratna. If you look at the people, so although they are very educated, they are very qualified, they are holding higher level positions, but they are living alone. They are not happy about themselves. So they are having kind of a depression or kind of a disappointment. So important thing is... They
don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah. So important thing is although we are doctors, engineers or professors or higher level judges, we have to have a very balanced life. We have to have our family life, rural life, environmental and aesthetic life, and everything. So therefore, unfortunately, today you see even university students are not that concerned about singing, so dancing, or even other aspects. So I see very, very rational and very rational education. But the rational education has to be balanced with the other things. Unfortunately, even in the university today, you see higher level of suicidal attempts and conflicts and clashes among students. So therefore, we need
That's
to...
because I believe they are not immersed in cultural and creative outlets.
Yeah.
Right, in the performing arts or even any other cultural or creative engagement. If they were involved in those, they wouldn't have time to think about maybe attacking a person or creating conflict. So that brings me to you brought a good point out there, Professor, where you said that many people don't feel fulfilled despite their careers flourishing. They don't feel fulfilled because they feel detached from society, detached from themselves and so on. So you're the former president of the Arts Council of University of Colombo. And in your opinion, how does arts and cultural engagement help someone to cope with their stress, to be a better human being and to achieve that fulfillment in life?
I think art is a best therapy. I think art therapy is wonderful.
In any form?
In any form. Yeah, we know that if you date back to history of the Sri Lanka, you remember, for example, Jyotipala and Vijay Kumaratunga. I mean, we have to clearly understand art is not only, the educated middle class people can enjoy the art.
Yes.
Even uneducated poor people can enjoy. So you see...
it's universal.
Yeah, it's universal. If you take Jyotipala and Vijay Kumaratunga, during their time, a poor uneducated man who engage in the day-to-day earning, so they, in the evening, they go to a cinema theater and they watch the film and enjoy the music of Jyotipala.
It's a form of escapism for them.
Yeah, escapism. So it's a emancipation of their worries and troubles. They come out from the cinema theater with full of happiness and satisfied mood. But today, you would have witnessed it in 1987, July 7th, when Jyotipala dies. It's a huge crowd.
A huge outpouring of people who mourned his death.
Yeah. So that is why we say artists can make the life of people happy and enjoyable. So therefore, even in university, we know in Peradeniya, the Wala, the open theater.
Yes.
So I think it made us happy and we enjoy the life, and still we have balanced life because of that art. And I must say that it is because thanks to the radio, any radio, we passed our A-level exams because they were with us even in the midnight, the songs and musics and dramas and even films. So therefore, I must say that they gives us a kind of a moral support, sometimes sports. So therefore, music is a therapy that gives us a real life support. So therefore, but unfortunately, today, we are away from others. Especially, I have to tell you that the online mode of education and the artificial intelligence. So this will create a huge problem in future.
The gap.
Because, there is a concept called reality and hyper-reality. Sometimes there are many things, they look more real than the real, but they are not real. We call them hyper-real. So in the
What's an example of hyper-reality?
Now, hyper-real, for example, now if you compare Dubai and Sri Lanka for natural beauty, Dubai is a hyper-real.
Hyper-real.
Yeah.
Make-believe.
Yeah. If you take like a film like a Rambo, so they really got defeated in Vietnam, but they made it a victory. Yeah. So that's hyper-real. So if you take Suryaran and Avatar film, Suryaran is more or less real. Avatar is like a hyper-real for me. So therefore, the present generation is with technology and artificial intelligence, they are going after hyper-realism. So that is good. I am telling it's good for the education and knowledge, but it will create... In the long run, it will cause a damage.
I see.
And it will be a problem because even they will artificially create the art, and they will produce some. Now you see the artificial Henry Caldera and Jyotipala.
Yeah.
So
using AI tools.
Yeah, AI tools. So therefore, one can become artist. One can become a scientist. Students. The pathetic is they write their assignments with the AI tools, and they produce their thesis. So we don't know who is a real intellectual and
whether the student has really taken into account what you have taught, or whether it's just a computer generating words.
So we are also
at a crossroads.
And at a challenge. So therefore, I think it's a good servant but bad master. So if we want to have a balanced, happy life, now you see, for example, most of the foreigners who come to this country, most educated, more super modern people. So what they are telling is, if they come and go and spend a couple of hours in Singaraja forest, they forget everything of their worries and troubles, because that ecotherapy, the nature, because it is part of our life, and we can enjoy our life
to be connected with nature.
But our people, they are not that concerned. They don't have time to enjoy our nature. So they are running after Dubai sometime. I'm not blaming the Dubai, but what we don't have in Sri Lanka. Original waterfalls, original rivers, lakes and forest, butterflies.
But instead we chase hyper-reality.
Yeah, hyper-reality. So therefore our education must give more chance to people to interact with the nature, interact with the art and other social relationships. But if we don't have that kind of things, I think we will be more isolated. We will be in more trouble. So therefore our life will be dissatisfied and unfulfilled, as you mentioned.
Understood. So, very quickly, how can we embed mental health education in educational or academic curriculums to bring up a student population, to foster a student population that is more resilient towards mental disturbances or any sort of mental stress, and help them create long-term coping strategies, Professor?
No, unfortunately, our education is totally based on reading and writing and sitting for the exam. If one doesn't have that skills, they are considered as uneducated. That is totally wrong. So if you ask a fish to climb a tree and a cat to swim in a sea, that won't happen. No?
Yes.
So we need to have everything. We need to have everything in our education system. No?
Yes.
So therefore our education system need to be change in that directions. We need to have a different tools, because sometimes some students are very poor in performing at before their O level. Sometimes they are good in A level. Some of them will be very good in their undergraduate level.
Definitely.
So for example, if we feed a child with too much of foods in the morning, the child will not have the lunch.
Yes.
So therefore we have to have a very proper and regular way of giving the knowledge, because we need to give. For example, I personally believe that scholarship exam should be changed.
Should be scrapped.
Because that gives an unnecessary burden, right? So then the child would totally lose his or her childhood, because Sigmund Freud says child is a father of man, not the father. Man is a father of the child. So therefore, we have to understand whatever a child learns from the nature and the society will have a huge impact on his or her personality later. But unfortunately, our children are not having this chance. So we need to have very important curriculum changes in the preschool.
In the nurseries.
Yeah, nurseries and preschool
education.
Yeah, and also we have to expand more chances for our university students, and then only they will enjoy their life. Then they will become a more balanced people. Now, for example, I would say one example. You might have know about the Professor Nimal Senanayake. He's a neurologist. He was educated in Henegama Central. He's a medical doctor. But although since he had a balanced personality and he has seen all many things from the life, during the time of the leprosy at a higher level,
outbreak, yes.
outbreak. So they with some other artists produced the drama called Alalanga Walawa. After this drama only, the whole country came to know about the leprosy is a curable disease. So then there was a huge change.
This is the song with Samita Mudunkotu and everyone?
Yeah, not Samita, I think.
I think there was a song involved as well for leprosy, yes.
So therefore, doctors, engineers, and lawyers, and everybody need to know everything about their life. So maybe like art, sports, culture, values.
So they used creative arts to deliver that message and break that stigma the society had about a certain disease. Right, understood.
So social equity and equality all can be, I think now for example, look at the song like Mannaram Pittivelli Kundumani song. That is the first songs sang about the other culture, written by Premakirti, sung by Predi Silva. So you see a song,
a fusion of cultures.
Yeah, a song, music, art can even have a social harmony.
I see. Understood. So I would like to continue this conversation further, but unfortunately we have run out of time. My guest tonight was Professor Mohamed Mahees, Professor in Sociology and the former President of the Arts Council of the University of Colombo. Professor Mahees is also a Senior Student Counsellor. So in that way, we spoke about educational reforms in Sri Lanka, students' mental health and welfare and mental health in general, and also methods of managing stress. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining me this evening and educating me and also our viewers on all things stress and managing your stress. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Face to Face this evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Do take care, and we will see you soon on a brand new episode of Face to Face. Good night.